La 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 la. Blah 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 blah. La 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 la. Hang on. Blah blah blah. Can you hear me now? Are you able to hear me? All right, cool. For some reason the VU meter's not working, so I didn't know it wasn't working. But the VU meter's completely not working. That's weird. Very weird. So you can hear me now? Yes. I don't know why the VU meter's not working at all. Can you hear me talking? We can hear you now, says ECI. Brilliant. Apologies for that. The VU meter's just not even doing anything. So I didn't even realise it wasn't on. Christ, what a derp. Hey, you run Streamlabs without any problems and I'll give you £1 billion, because there's always problems with Streamlabs. It's a little bit janky here and there. I don't know. Anyway, yes, welcome one and all. We'll start all that. Tell you what, let's. Hey everyone, it's Fox from Model Making Guru here. Hello, and welcome to, yes, let's just crack on. Anyway, yes, welcome. It's a last minute live stream today. It's not Skyrim today because I didn't really have time to get everything set up for Skyrim. And to be honest, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I was up till 4:30 doing the stream with Colin, so I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so I'm really tired and a little bit of a headache. I didn't really want to be wearing headphones and playing a game for 3 hours. It probably wouldn't have worked very well, so we'll just do a bit of work oh, there you go, it's working now. I can see the wibbly lines. There we go. God, it's finicky software. Yes, I thought it better we'll just do a live stream where I'm doing some building. It's a little less delicate on my head. Not because of beer. I didn't go on the beer last night. I had one bottle of beer and it was like crappy lager, so, and that was over the course of 4 hours, so it's not beer, it's just I didn't sleep a lot, so headache time. Anyway, yes, welcome to this last minute live stream. I'm going to be carrying on with my Mortisan Tithe-echelon nonsense fantasy words name product, building all the bony dudes, hence the title of the live stream. So I thought I'll just carry on with that, and you guys can hang out. I did put the word out to all the other guys to see if anyone fancied joining me today, but I think Colin was still asleep because he has a reversed sleep cycle, and I think everybody else was tied up, so it's just me today. But I did put the word out to invite other people. Yes, but anyway, before we get going, quick shout-outs, as usual, to all the people that make my content possible, my patrons and channel members who directly pay my wages. They literally keep my channel open. They put food on my table, quite literally. They allow me to pay my bills and do this nonsense for a living. So a big, massive thank you to them. Happy New Year to everybody, but especially to my patrons and members. Don't forget, if you want to help keep the channel alive and become a supporter, you can. You can go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru. There's an address just there. And you can become a patron, or you can just click the join button underneath the chat window, underneath the video player, and that'll take you to the membership page where you can become a channel member. Either way, you're supporting the channel, you get a load of free bits and bobs. You also get access to the 24/7 live Zoom session that Colin and I run for both our channels. You can hang out with all the other patrons and members in there and have a good time. If you don't want to use a webcam, or if you don't use Zoom or want to do any live stuff, there is also a Facebook chat group as well where you can do exactly the same thing. So there are links in the description below for all of that, so go and check it out if you want to become a channel member or a patron. A big massive thank you to Mayhem Model Works, who's literally just put a £5 super chat through and said, "Professional as ever, Fox, profesh spesh." There you go. There has been ingestion. Thank you very much for the super chat, and thank you very much for the reference to avoid spikes, which always makes me happy. Nobody else knows what avoid spikes is. But yeah, and of course my corporate supporters, emodels.co.uk and goblingaming.co.uk. Links for both of them in the description below the video. They support this channel directly through sponsorship and affiliate links. If you want to go and check out and get some of the most awesomest tabletop gaming stuff or model making stuff, use those two links in the description below. Use those specific links because it tells them I sent you, and I get some income from that, so there you go. So yes, welcome one and all. Happy New Year. I don't know if that bit got missed off when the microphone wasn't working, so Happy New Year one and all. Let's crack on. I'll have a quick look at chat and see who is in, and then we'll crack on. We have in chat, first in chat was me doing pimpage, then was Cora Pink. Welcome Cora Pink, welcome to you. Hugh Gordon, welcome you. Hugh. Mayhem Model Works, hello. Hello, Kajit welcomes you to the chat. EC Idaho says good day all. Everybody, of course, says Happy New Year. Chris at Gross Models is in. Afternoon all. I may or may not reply as I might be napping. Yes, I'm not expecting a lot of you to be watching today, although there is already 21 people watching, which is kind of kick-ass for New Year's Day when you're all hungover and broken. Thank you very much. Don't forget, if you are watching this, Skullfish is in. Happy New Year, Fox, and all in chat. Skullfish, not seen you for ages, buddy. Skullfish. I haven't got a button, so I have to just do it manually. Welcome to you. Happy New Year. I've got something stuck in my mouth. Hang on. A little bit of bleb. Ew, that was horrible. What was I talking about? Yes, I don't expect massive viewers today because everybody will be broken from New Year. Silence is golden, but, says ECI. Everybody's telling me about the microphone. The Bobbins is in. Welcome, Bobbins. You good, man? Modelworks. Frankie goes to Hobbywood. Happy New Year from work. Yes. Welcome, Frankie, and sorry that you're at work on New Year's Day. We have Spiddy Curates in. Happy New Year, ladies and gentlebods. Welcome, Spid. Well, Happy New Year to you. EC Idaho, welcome to you. It's the whiskey, not the beer. Happy New Year, he says. Model Maker Dave's Workshop's in. Dave, hey Dave. Hello everyone, Happy New Year to one and all. Welcome Dave, thank you for coming along. Big Dave hugs. Happy New Year to you, buddy. And then we're up to date with the chat. No one knows what Avoid Spikes is. Heathens, it says Mayhem Modelworks. Yes, if you don't know what Avoid Spikes is, when you get a chance, go to my website, modelmaking.guru or modelmakingguru.com. There's a menu option at the top that says Avoid Spikes. Go and check it out. It was something I did for about 5 years. Anyway, yes, so we're going to crack on. Up to date with the chat there. I'll just move Guthorm out of the way. Quick whiz through the chat. I don't dally when it comes to chat. I just get through and say hello. I've got my big cup of coffee to start with in my Land Rover mug. Tin mug. So in Ted's absence, if you finished a thing, I can give you a ding, although it's not an official eModels ding. It's a Fox ding, so it's not quite the same. I have something stuck in my mouth. It's my finger. It's your finger, you spoon, said Mayhem. Yeah, it was when I got rid of the thing that was in my mouth. There was some kind of mlem. You know, sometimes when you brush your teeth, it's called sloughing. Sometimes you brush your teeth and you'll like slough a little bit of the skin off the inside of your mouth and it's like, It just happens sometimes. Anyway, it's gross to talk about at this time of the day. Welcome one and all. So today we're going to crack on with the Mortisan Tithe-echelon Christmas Battleforce set. And at the moment I've just started on the Dukes of Hazzard Harvest Festival, which is what I've been working on. It's the first set. The Battleforce is like a lot of different models in one big box that you get for like half price. So you've got like about 40 skeleton dudes. This is Age of Sigmar. 40 dudes and some other bits and bobs and this big thing. If you've been looking to get Battleforces, quick shout out by the way, they only appear at Christmas. And once they're done, that's it. Then they don't never appear again in that form. You get in about 200 quid worth of stuff for about 100 quid. And they sell out instantly over Christmas. But somehow, Goblin Gaming have still got loads of these left in stock. These and the Orc ones and some of the other ones as well. There's some Drakari, there's some, what else is the Eldar stuff. There's all bits and bobs. Death Guard, there's the Death Guard Battleforce. So you've been looking to pick up some cheap Warhammer, go and check them out. They're not cheap by themselves, but they are half price, so it's like 100 quid for 200 quid worth of stuff. So use the link in the description below. I think there's a link to this particular set as well. I just finished a pot noodle. Do I get a ding, says Bobbins. Absolutely, because I'm not Ted. If you finish anything, you get a ding from me. Hi Fox, popped in for my afternoon kip, says Sarah Jane. Love you too. Thank you for coming in, Sarah Jane. Happy New Year. Yeah, I'm not like Ted. I'll give you a ding for it. I'm cheap. I'm a cheap tart. I'll give you a ding for anything. So, if you finished anything. So yes. So if you're looking at one of these sets, either this or the, I've also ordered the Orc Battleforce set because it's like literally 200 quid worth of stuff for half price. It's not often Games Workshop give you cheap stuff, so when they do, you've got to snap it up. So, I'm going to carry on with this and crack on building. As always, because it's just me, I'll depend on you guys to give me stuff to talk about, you guys in chat. So please do, if you're watching this, please come and join in the live chat. If you're on YouTube, it's just there next to the chat. If you're on a mobile device, it might be underneath the video, so scroll down. If you're watching this embedded in Facebook or Twitter or somewhere, click on the YouTube icon in the bottom right. It'll take you to YouTube where you can carry on watching and join in the live chat. And you should do, because for the love of God, I need something to talk about. And you guys give me stuff to talk about. If you're in the chat, please make sure if you want to ask me a question, once I've got my lenses on, I can't really see the chat very well. So put @ModelMakingGuru at the start of your comment so it highlights it for me. And I know it's not just general background chit-chat. Or if you want to, you can do a super chat like Andy did at Mayhem. You can do the little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. It puts it in a coloured box like you saw there. You can see it in the chat there. And then I've got no way to miss your comment then. I've got the chat just there. So we shall crack on. Anyway, or even crack on even, not crap on. We shall crack on. I've had 2 noodle pots, ding ding. 2 noodle pots. There you go. That's not really a pot noodle, I know, but you know. I'll give you dings for anything. What was I going to say? Yes, so anyway, Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you all had a good, jolly good evening last evening. As I said last night, when we're doing the stream with Colin, we normally get a call from my brother in the States, but he was working last night, so Mama Fox decided she wasn't going to stay up, so I thought, well, I'll do my stream with Colin. So I was up till 4:30. So I'm a little bit broken this morning, not because of alcohol, just because I didn't sleep very well. So I'm very tired, which is why I'm not doing the gaming stream. So there you go. So yes, please do ask me questions in chat. Treat the chat as an AMA. Ask me anything. For the love of dog, ask me questions. Talk about stuff that I can talk about for 3 hours. No religion, no politics, of course. But anything else is pretty much fair game. Now, we were doing the arms last night and they were giving me some challenge. They certainly were. So I built the top half of one arm, which is the right arm. That's the right arm, that is. And I've put some tape on it that I can't now get off. I'll try and make sure I'm on camera as well. It's one of my little habits that I tend to wander off camera every 5 minutes. Sarah Jane, when you're doing some proper model building, not Warhammer nonsense. I see what you did there. I will be building the Tamiya 135th T62 tank, hopefully in the coming weeks. Because I need to do that for the E-models. So that's coming up. As I'm hoping to start that in the next week or so. I was hoping to start it last week, but it didn't really happen. So, yeah. Peter Davies in. Happy New Year, peeps. Happy New Year to you, Peter. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming along. I reckon I could glue these arms on, you know, and not have any problems painting them, because it's all bone. Poodle knots, not poodle. Pot noodles are noodle pots as I'm word dyslexic, says Sarah Jane. We've had 2, so then you get 2 dings. There you go. Having 1 pot noodle is acceptable. Having 2 pot noodles is absolutely correct. Right, so that's going to go like... Now, we discovered this last night. It doesn't actually have much information. If you're building the side arms, it's not very helpful. So I've got to basically guess how these arms are supposed to go together. Thanks, Games Workshop. Are you going to try a shiny car this year, says the Bobbins. Absolutely not. Nope, don't do shiny. I'll never do a shiny car. 2 reasons. 2 reasons. One, the subject doesn't interest me, to be perfectly honest. I have no interest in cars and stuff, in models. They just, it's not something that you know, I don't sit there thinking, oh, I want to build that kit. It just doesn't raise that passion in me. But also, yeah, I don't do shiny. I depend on weathering to cover up all my half-assed paint jobs. I've always been honest and said that I'm never going to teach you how to paint like a professional. I'll teach you how to paint like a dumbass, and just about get away with it. So yeah, shiny cars not my thing. I admit my weaknesses. I know my limits. I know what I can't do and what I don't enjoy doing. Even if I could paint shiny cars and things, and bikes and stuff, even if I was able to, I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the subject. It doesn't float my boat. And if I'm not enjoying something, given the fact that filming something takes the fun out of it anyway, that yeah, it just makes it worse. So no, I won't be doing shiny cars. At some point I may do, like, you know, the Lord of Change or Archaon the Everchosen, and they need to be not weathered because they're beautiful models. We had this conversation last night. That'll be about as close as you get to a shiny model. I've got the puppy dog skull. I've got to clean up the puppy dog skull. I like the face. Puppy dog skull. It's some kind of weird puppy dog with the bottom jaw longer than his top jaw, but I glued this together last night. I'm just getting rid of the glue bead to smooth it out so it looks nice and solid, no mould, no seam line. Well, there's the Dodge, says Gross Models. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm building my Dodge Charger. That's a part work there, but that's a shiny car. So technically I am trying a shiny car that way. It's a bit of a get out clause. You didn't specify, so I'll take what I can get. But no, it's just, it's you know, it's like, it'd be like asking Sarah Jane to do a Baneblade. She'd be like, well, I don't want it because I have no interest in it, and it doesn't, I don't want to, I don't like it, and not interested. When you're not interested in something, there's no desire to do it. And when you're filming, the thing is, like I've said before, when you film a build, if you don't film builds, you won't really know, but if you film a build, everything takes 5 times as long, and it takes all the fun out of it. So to take all the fun out of a build that you're not actually enjoying anyway is even worse. So no shiny cars. I've not got that level of skill and ability, and I salute anybody that can do shiny cars, because I don't have those skills at all. I depend on my weathering to hide my sins. If I built a shiny car or a shiny motorbike, it would sit there, and every time I looked at it, I'd hear the grave mind going, I am a monument to all your sins. Because it wouldn't hide all the nasty paintwork, and I'd be like, no. And yes, that was the worst grave mind impression ever. I could do a good grave mind voice when I'd smoked like 40 a day, but I can't. I don't smoke anymore, so I can't do that now. If you don't know what grave mind is, that entire reference is completely lost on you, but never mind. So I'm just cleaning up the skull. I've got rid of the seam that went right down the middle. Candygram from On goes in. Hey Jeff, he says, Happy New Year everyone. Big Candygram hugs to you. Yeah, I've got rid of the seam that went right down the middle of the skull. I'm just scribing back in the little bone plate fusion line that was just across the nose. What's it called when your 2 bones fuse together and you get the little line? What's that line called? It's got a name and I can't remember what it is. I know they're fused together and it's a fusion something, I don't know. Anybody out there know about bones? Now there is a big seam down, or a gap down the middle of the 2 sides of the jaw, of the lower jaw, the lower mandible. But if you look at actual real life lower jaws, they are made from 2 halves that sit together like that. And that's exactly what I'm sticking with. That's my reasoning, and there you go, deal with it. Puppy dog head. Oh, that's so cool. It does have a specific orientation though. I shouldn't be sticking this on at this point, I don't think. Oh, should I? Yes, I should be. It needs to sit on top of that skull somehow, and that bit goes in there somehow. But again, it's kind of vague. Not quite sure. Does it go under the... It goes under there. Somehow. Touches like that, you see. That looks good. That looks good, man. It's tenuous. It's not exactly got like a peg and a socket, but it's in. I can make it work. Oh, I can make this work. Yeah. It's like a kind of fat T-Rex. That's what it is. It's kind of like a fat raptor. Fat raptor. That's what this looks like. It's like some kind of fat raptor. T-Rex styly. Alright, let's get the fat glow for the fat raptor. Did you know that T-Rexes were actually a bit fat? If you look at Sue the T-Rex, one of the most complete skeletons we have of T-Rex, the actual rib cage does extend quite low down in such a way that it makes them look really portly and like chonky, like an absolute unit. Because you think of them all as slender and slim, but they were actually quite barrel shaped. And for a long time, the paleontologists didn't have the ribs coming down that far because they assumed they were all kind of sleek and fast and slight and, you know, run aroundy. But turns out they had the ribs a bit wrong, and they were actually absolute units. So yeah, go and check out Sue the T-Rex. She's in the something or other museum of something in America. She's also, if you're on Twitter, Sue the T-Rex is one of the best Twitter accounts you'll ever find, because she's awesome. She's so funny. Her description of herself just says murder bird. That's how she describes herself. She's a murder bird. Yeah, Sue the T-Rex is kick-ass. I've noticed I've been a member for 11 months and 29 days, says Bobbins. Ooh, that means tomorrow on the Warhammer Sunday stream it might tick over and you'll get a pop-up saying it. Excuse me. Fox, how you feel about cars is a fraction of how I feel about Warhammer nonsense. That's what I said. Exactly. It's like getting you to do a Baneblade. And that's the thing. I know we all mock each other. You know, I mock you for not liking Warhammer and you mock me for liking Warhammer. But at the end of the day, everybody has their preference of things they like. And I would never expect someone... I know I joke about everyone should make a Baneblade, but I'd never expect someone to make something they don't have any interest in. This is why I stopped doing commissions, because I was doing builds of things I didn't give a crap about. I'm like, I don't want to build this. I'm not interested in whatever it is I'm building. You don't do your best work. So this is a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. So yeah, if you don't want something, don't like something, don't do it. I know we joke about it, and like I say, but we're only joking when we do all that nonsense. I'm going to let that head settle for a minute. Bones, I don't know what that means. I get the reference there. King of the Lab. Candy Grab's giving out hugs. He says, I know Chris likes hugs as well. Big hugs to everyone who wants one. Chris says, hugs. Chris is a right little hugger. Adeptus Latrina is in. It says, good morning and Happy New Year. Welcome, Adeptus. Happy New Year to you. Chris gets all the hugging. He says, Mayhem, this is true. The base looks kind of small, Mr. Fox. Well, this is the cunningness, you see. This is the base that comes with it. If you didn't watch last night, you won't have noticed that. You won't have seen this, but this is the base that it comes with, so it sits on this base like that. But I've got to paint up in there between the legs where you can't see because it's off camera. Up in here, there's like skulls and stuff I need to paint in here and bones and detail. And if I put it on there, I can't get a brush in there. My plan is I've very gently superglued it to a small base. And then this small base, see, can off camera, because I've got to handle it really weirdly, can go in one of these painting handles, which is hard to do when you've got a big dangly model on it. Hang on. Oh, it's not actually easy. There you go. So that can go in a painting handle, thusly. And the beauty of that now is that when I need to paint it, I can rotate it round and I can get my paintbrush up in the gubbins up there in the intimate feminine area, and I can get access to everything. And if I need to turn it round a bit, I can do. I can just rotate it round, you know. But it means I can hold it on the handle, but I'm not having to deal with this big base. And then when I finish painting, because it's only a tiny dot of super glue under there, all I need to do is get my knife under there, snap it off, boop, like that. Nothing will happen to the plastic because it's just super glue. It'll just break the super glue, and I can glue it to the base. So there's method to my madness. Method to my madness. Or there's madness to my method. I don't know which it is. Chris says, the last couple of years have been tough for us huggers. Yeah, Chris likes his hugs. It's been pretty tough. Podgosaurus, says the Bobbins. Yeah, fat bird. Fat murder bird. Candygram says he's got his Spidey-Q8 Atoak Ettore watch video queued up for watching later. Does he mean Fatosaurus Rex, says Mayhem? Oh, yes. Maybe up to catching up with chat. Spidey-Q8 says, cheers, Candygram. It's a divisive one, this. I think it's great and fun. Happy New Year. Good. Spid does a lot of videos about watches and stuff, so go and check out his channel. Lots of interesting things on there. I haven't touched my Warhammer stuff in a long time, says Adeptus. Yeah, a week is a long time when you're away from the Warhammer. I've been getting back into Gunpla for some reason, because they're easy builds and they're stress-free. Method to his madness. Huh, says Mayhem. Yeah, right, swig of coffee. And we shall crack on. So we've glued the head on. Look, adorable puppy dog head. Look at that. It's hard not to like a good puppy dog head. The option for this is the puppy dog head or the turtle head. And frankly, the turtle head looks nice, but I much prefer the puppy dog head. Because it looks like it's more like a T-Rex cussed with a Labrador, let's say. He's just a big softy, really. He may be made out of bones, you know, but it's just really a big softy. I'm partial to a hug myself, and it's felt like having the plague, says Spid. It's terrible. Although I haven't had lots more Mama Fox hugs over the last 2 years, which is nice. Adeptus says, Gumpler is relaxing. I spent 2 hours working on a Zaku talking to Panther in the hangout the other night. Exactly. Nobody likes a turtle head, says Gross Model. Well, yeah, there is that. Has it got a decent picture of it? It hasn't actually got a decent picture of it. I mean, that's the puppy head I've got, but I've got the head turned the other way because it looks much better. But the turtle head... Oh, turtle's head! It only shows it from the front there, but it's all right. It's just a bit... It's a bit like a gek, if you know what the gek are. Right, so I've done one arm. Can I glue the arm on without interfering with paintularity? I think probably yes. I think I can probably get that arm on quite nicely and not worry about it getting in the way of painting. But there is a dirty, great big nub on it that I need to take care of. Let's do that first, shall we? Adorable puppy dog head. It's the thing. I knew it. Yes. Big nub there. Get that off. Let's get it off. Hadn't noticed that. Should have taken care of this really. And there's a big mould line as well that I haven't sorted out. Well, if you watched last night, I was having a right nightmare with these arms because the instructions were in no way clear as to what to do with them. So you forgive me for forgetting to clean the pieces up. Right, so I've done that. There was also Stabity last night you missed, if you didn't watch. Proper full-on Stabity. And not a slice Stabity, but proper Stabity. Dirty great big hole in my finger there. It was not really painful. Luckily it was my little finger, which doesn't really get used for anything, so it's not like it hurts every time I pick something up, which is good. I like that. So we'll just clean up that bit where I've just got rid of the nub. Use my round file. I decided to go for the scythe hands and not the big smashy ball hands because they just look more interesting. I'm never going to play these. So, I mean, I might do it one day. Probably won't. But, so I'll just make what I think looks fun. Anyway, yes, how is everyone? I hope you all had a jolly good New Year. Whether you spent time with your family or you were on your own or whatever you did. I hope you had a reasonable evening. Like I say, we normally get a call from my brother, but because he's working, we just, you know, Mama Fox just went to bed and I did my stream with Colin. And we saw the New Year in, and there were more fireworks last night than I've ever heard. On New Year's Eve, you often get you always get fireworks, but it's like, dude, I had the window open because it was warm, unseasonably warm last night. I had the window open and it was like a war zone. It was incredible. I've never heard that many I think people are so happy to see the back of this year that they just bought all the fireworks in the world. All of them. And used every single one. I think they kept all the fireworks back from bonfire night and just said, you know what, we're going to kick this year out the window. Because seriously, F that. Am I on camera? Yeah, just about. So yeah, good riddance to a bad year. Here's hoping for a better 2022. I mean, it can't be any worse. So yes, anyway, I hope you're all well. Hope you're all in good spirits and good health. As always, of course, the most important thing I can possibly ask you is bench and belly. What's on your bench? What you're working on right now? It doesn't have. There's another nub there. Doesn't have to be. Oh no, it's not. Doesn't have to be a model kit. Could be anything. Could be anything creative. Could be a picture, drawing. Could be a piece of music that you write in. Could be a flower arrangement. Could be putting up shelves. You could be doing anything. What is it you're doing? Tell me all the things. And what's on your belly? What have you had for your dinner, or what are you going to have for your dinner? If you know. And have any of you made pointless New Year's resolutions? I never do because they're just completely pointless. Unless it's eat more crap, which is one I always manage to maintain. If it's eat more crap, I'll get that one. Anything else, forget it. So yes, have you made any New Year's resolutions? And I do have to say, if any of you out there did join us last night, me and Colin, for the live stream, which went from midnight to about 4 in the morning, thank you massively for joining us last night. It meant a great deal to both me and Colin that, you know, of all the things you could be doing at the end of a crappy year like 2021, of all the things you could do to see the year out, you spent time with me and Colin. So we were really massively appreciative of that. So big thank you to everyone who joined us last night on Colin's channel. That was really, really nice. And there was actually more views on that one last night than there were. I'll start that entire sentence again. We got more views on the stream last night than we did, or than Colin did for the stream he did in the afternoon. Like, not twice as much, but a good amount more. So yes, thank you very much for joining us. Right, I think I'm bored sanding that now. I think that's about as good as it gets. I've got to make it look like a blade, you see, so I can't really have lots of sanding marks all over it, because that would just be gash. Although it's a blade that's about a foot thick, but shut up. That's that cleaned up. No mould lines, apart from that little one there. Thumbs up, says Mayhem. You are welcome. Don't forget, of course, the chat is absolutely live as far as YouTube can do live. So if you ask me stuff in chat, I'll see it straight away. That's that bit cleaned up. Just about. I know it's bone, so I can have a little bit of scruffiness, but I don't want it to be too scruffy. I've got standards to maintain, you know. Plus the thing is, there might be a lot of dry brushing on these bones, and when you do dry brushing, you've got a rough, scruffy surface. It really shows up. Yeah, funny that, isn't it? That's that one done. Let me check the other blade for cleanitude. I think that's looking not too bad. I shall have a quick look at chat in a second. Panic not. Mould line. Talking about their mould lines. Yeah, so please, for the love of dog, please do ask me things in chat, because I've already run out of stuff to talk about. I've got a bit of a headache today, and I've not slept, so I'm not exactly on full speed. I'm not exactly on full throttle at the minute, so there is a big risk that I'll just end up sitting here sanding and not even remember that you guys are there, and I'll be sitting there quietly working away and be like, oh crap, there's a whole load of people watching, I forgot. Yeah. Talking about the mould lines. Let's have a quick look at chat. Stabberty, and here was me sleeping, says Mayhem. Yeah. Didn't watch last night, I was trying to sleep, but it seems people thought it was November the 5th and fireworks everywhere. Yeah, it seems to be. I think people were glad to see the back of 2021, let's be honest. Adeptus says Las Vegas sounded like a war zone. I'm sure that's the next Tom Clancy game. It reminded me of the Knob Creek machine gun shoot I went to years back. All the jokes would now ensue if Paul was here. Cora Pink says the fireworks were quite the normal for her. A cacophony of booms and bangs, says Adeptus. 2021 can just write off, says Bobbins. Exactly. Speedy Curate says, weirdly, I didn't hear a single firework up here, and normally it's like a 90s newscast from Beirut. EC says, no network TV save for CBS and had to watch some country western New Year's show from Nashville. Blech. Oh, God. Yeah, I can't imagine anything worse than that, to be honest. Adeptus says, bench, HGUC Shin Matsunaga. I'll say that again. HGUC Shin Matsunaga MS06R1A. Zaku High Mobility Type. Belly, mini corn dogs with honey mustard dipping sauce. Ooh. Belly, sausage links for breakfast. Bench, Warhammer Chimera a la Vietnam. Chris at Grace Model says, McDonald's for lunch today, Big Mac, and I may have borrowed a few nuggets from Katie. Nothing on the bench at the moment, but setting up stuff for tonight's new game stream. I'm going to have to go in a minute, because I've realised I didn't get the turkey bacon out to defrost. I need to go and sort that in a minute. In fact, let me go and do that. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I forgot to get it out to defrost, and if I don't defrost it, we can't eat it for dinner. So I shall be back in a moment. Give me a second. There we go, sorry about that. I just realised I completely forgot to put it out to thaw. Oh well, never mind. Defrost. Where are we up to? Tieltra Queen is in, says hi all. Welcome Tieltra Queen. Happy New Year to you. Cora Pink says bench acrylic painting belly. I'll start again. Missing comma there. Bench acrylic painting, comma. Belly just started roast beef and trimmings. Ooh. When you say acrylic painting, do you mean actual painting 2D on a card or on board, painting on canvas? That'd be cool. I could never get the hang of acrylics. I was always oils me when I ever painted paintings. It was always oils. Did we all toast to Betty White as well last night? I did, says Adeptus. Yeah, right at the end of 2021, in the last few hours, Betty White dies. It's like, oh, really? 2021 was really trying to be a complete ass last night. Bobbin says, belly tonight is salmon Wellington, followed by a Christmas pudding. Bench Tamiya M10 Achilles Tank Destroyer. Candygram says, bench 1973 148 Schwimmwagen from Bandai. A challenging little kit. Belly delicious biscuits and gravy for breakfast, shared as always with a good old dog. Yeah. Mayhem says, bench now, belly a Terry's chocolate orange nom. True Christmas food. So this is why I woke up at 2:30 a.m. and then it jumped. Hi Fox and all, says Angus. Hey Angus. Happy New Year, my friend. We were up till 4:30 last night, so yeah. Peter Davey says, oh hang on, where are we up to? It jumped. Standards to maintain. I didn't know you were into tapestries, Fox. What? Oh dear. Moving on. Peter Davey. Belly is. Hey Peter. Belly is just coffee for now. Maybe toasted cheese and ham sarnies later. Bench are giant boots for a cosplay costume I'm making from scratch from the UK Games Expo later this year. Ooh, tell us all about it. Giant boots could be a number of things. Welcome, by the way. Happy New Year. Angus says, had lamb vindaloo, extra spicy, dal and onion bhajis with mint yoghurt for dinner. Ooh, there'll be no consequences to that at all. Turkey bacon is a travesty, says Adeptus. The thing is turkey. It's just in little slices, and you just put it under the grill for 2 minutes. It's not really. It's just cold turkey bacon. We've got proper bacon, but it's actually quite nice because I like turkey. That sounds damn tasty, says Bobbins to Angus. It does. Why is there turkey every meat, like turkey ham and turkey bacon and such? Because turkey's quite nice. It's a very good low-fat meat if you have to eat low-fat meat. Apparently one of the best things to replace... If you're on a low-fat diet, my dad was on a low-fat diet for a few years. He had to go on a low-fat diet for various reasons. And we found that a great alternative to beef, which is really high fat, is ostrich, which has got virtually zero fat and tastes very much like beef. It was quite expensive, though. Don't care what he calls it. You shouldn't be getting it out in public. You get married for that in some countries. Steady Neris. Turkey is cheap to raise, almost pound for pound, almost the cheapest protein, says Adeptus. Oh, yeah. Canvas painting, having no abstract, said Cora. Cool, yeah, I could never get the hang of acrylics because they dry so fast, and I like to fettle and blend, so I was always happy with oils, but I can never get the hang of acrylics. So awesome. Awesome. Feel free to put pictures in the boom hut. If you're in the boom hut, I think you are. When I was in Scotland a couple of years ago, some of the seagulls were the size of turkeys. I wonder what they taste like. Probably disease if they're seagull. How does one put Wellingtons on a salmon, says Spid. Oops, overboiled my potato, says Cora Pink. Oh. Please tell me you didn't eat the seagull, says Chelsea Queen. I'm pretty sure they carry bird flu. They carry every disease known to man. They also carry your chips and your ice cream if you're not careful. Imagine a leg of ostrich. Ooh, that's a drumstick and a half. We had ostrich steaks and they're like that big. They're massive. Sarah Jane says to put some melted butter and parsley on the burnt potatoes to Cora and they'll be fine. Yeah, you can recover them. Don't worry about it. Everything's edible. Like I say, I managed to get crackling on a turkey and it came out and it was quite delicious. So there's no such thing as it went wrong. There's just... It's not that it went wrong, it just came out differently than expected. That's all it is. Right, so now I've got the arm there. I need to do what now? I need to do the bit with the other bit. So it's 46 or 47. Yes, you have a choice of two upper arm parts, and they're both basically identical, save for a couple of dimples in the bone. There seems to be no real alternative shape, unless they give a different pose, but it doesn't actually explain that anywhere. Which is, you know, just typical G-dubs. Because that goes in there. Somehow. I wonder if it does give a different pose. And again, they just don't explain it. Might do. Right, let's get the thing on there. Doodle-doo-doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Doodle-doo-doodle-doo. In fact, let's try them both. Yeah, you get these two upper arms, and they, as far as I can tell, the only difference is cosmetic. They've got slightly different femur heads, like the, you know, the ball thing at the top of the bone that goes into the socket. It just seems to be a bit cleaner on one, and it's like, really, is that the only difference? That makes no sense at all. So if I think it goes in like that. So that one sits like that, and that one sits okay, so they do give slightly different angles of the arm angles. Alright, well, it's not explained in the instructions at all that they give you two different... Oh, actually, no, hang on. Am I talking rubbish? That seems to sit in like that. And that seems to sit in like the same. Maybe? No, maybe not. Yeah, that one's a sharper angle. Wow, they just really didn't explain that in the instructions at all. I don't know. So, with that one like that, you can kind of give it whatever pose you want, really. Do 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 do. So that one can go there like that, and I think I'll do the wide. I don't know. if I have the... I'm muttering to myself now, I know. If that goes in there like that. The other one's wide. That might be a bit of an interesting action pose, I think. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go along. That could sit like that. It's really difficult. You don't really know until you've stuck them together. There's no way to really know. I think the tighter pose, I think, is more interesting. We'll go with that one. West coast of Scotland, the seagulls are a bloody nuisance. They're nicknamed flying rats. Andy, happy accident or complete balls up, says Sarah Jane. Quano Man is in. Welcome, Dan. Happy New Year, my friend. La 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 la. What are we up to? Wait, what? I'm not sure what the conversation is. Were you going to go for 4 arms? Says Tialtra. It doesn't have 4 arms option on this. Not for the Dukes of Hazard Harvest Festival. It's only got 2 arms. On this one, 4 arms. Fun fact: The Birds was written after Hitchcock took a holiday in Scotland and stood close to a fishing trawler. Probably. Says Spid. Yeah. Happy New Year, Fox, says Dan. Well, back to you. Right, swig of coffee. Let's make an arm. Right, so we've got this thing to clean and this thing to clean. Then we can assemblage. Do some assembulology. This is where I need to try and think about things to talk about now, because I'm doing the thinking again. So remember, folks, do ask me questions in chat. Always treat chat as an ask me anything. For the love of dog, I need things to talk about. Ask me questions about all kinds of things. Science and all kinds of stuff is cool. Anything you want. No religion, no politics. Obviously, though, we don't do that. Festify it. Give it the 4 arms, says Mayhem. I've only got 2 arms. You don't have a choice of 4. Oh, actually. Theoretically, I could give it an extra set of arms if there was somewhere to add an extra set of arms to. Colin would just like drill holes and stuff, but I don't have the nerve or the balls to do that, so you know what I'm like. I'm rubbish. Don't know where that went. Probably in my coffee. Same again. There we go. Now, normally, this would, of course, like I say, be a Skyrim Saturday stream. But if you weren't here at the start, because I haven't slept much last night and I've got a bit of a headache, and I didn't really have enough time to get set up properly. Angus Allen puts a $10 super chat through. Hope the new year goes well for you, Fox. Angus, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. You're very, very kind. There's a little pop-up. You're very, very kind, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate that massively. Very much appreciated. That's very, very helpful. I thank you. Big New Year hugs. Happy New Year to you too as well. Here's to a good New Year to all of us, because it can't be any worse than the last shower of nonsense. Yes, I wasn't really, because I have to get Mama Fox ready and up and everything. I didn't really have enough time after doing all that to get everything set up. But like I say, because I've got a bit of a headache and I didn't sleep much last night, so I wasn't really in the headspace to sit there with headphones on for 3 hours playing Skyrim. So I thought I'd just do this. So, yeah. But I would normally ask in Skyrim, game and grub. Now, we've done the grub bit already with Bench and Belly, but if any of you out there have got the games on the go, console, PC, doesn't really matter, whatever it is, what games are you playing right now? Or even just tabletop games. It doesn't have to be a video game. What's your favoured, your preferred game of choice at the moment? I was saying last night that I've been playing Halo Infinite and enjoying it, but I've only got a little way in. I only get little bits of time at the Xbox. I don't get a lot of time, especially right now with looking after Mama Fox. So I only get little bits here and there. So I'm not really having much chance, but I've been playing that. I've also been diving back into original Destiny 1 because I can't play Destiny 2 anymore. So That's been good fun. I need to not use that blade. Yes, Happy New Year to you, Angus, though. Fox, when you're playing XCOM 2, I keep losing. Flipping difficult. That kind of, like, is it that the sort of RTS type game? I don't play those. They hold no interest for me. It's like a top-down RTS type thing. That's why I don't play 99% of the Warhammer games, because they're all off to one side, isometric style RTS type command your units games. I'm like, yeah, it's not I don't do that. I did try Halo Wars when it came out many years ago, but it was like, nah, it's not my kind of game, this. All units. Yes, it did nothing for me. Are you going to do a build and paint series for the Valkyrie, says Peter Davey? Yes, I will do. Eventually, when I get around to doing it. The last sort of year has really messed up my schedule a lot. For various reasons. So, I'm all over the place at the minute. But yes, I do have a Valkyrie to do. And I do need to do that. It's been finding time to actually, with Mama Fox, you know, having to look after Mama Fox for so long. Hang on, let me clear my throat. Sorry about that. Yes, so having to look after Mama Fox. It's been really quite hard to be at the bench more than, you know, 15 minutes, half an hour. So filming stuff has been quite a bit of a non-event, because I can't guarantee I'm at the bench long enough to do it. So that's why it's been a bit barren for the last few months. I can do a live stream like this, because if she needs me, she can interrupt me and I can pause the live stream. But if I'm in the middle of painting something or filming it, I can't unpaint it. So, yes. But yes, I do have Valkyrie to do, and I will get around to doing that. I need to do Mortarion at some point as well. Plus, I've got all the Death Guard to paint and all my Space Marines and the Conquest set that James sent me and all of the stuff. I need to start painting stuff to sell on eBay. All the things. Candygram says, Chris at Gross Models, Dan Kramer and myself will be playing Escape Simulator for the amusement of ourselves and hopefully a viewing audience later today. That'll be on Chris's channel at Gross Models, I assume. I need to clear my throat again. Sorry about this. Oh, real froggy throat at the moment. Comes with talking for hours. Dan says, science question. What volume of rancid burps from an alcoholic burn would it take to power a gas cooker long enough to fry an egg? I wouldn't want to go near those eggs. I think it would already be made of eggs. 7 hours to go. I really should nap, says Chris at Gross Models. Yes. The stench would kill the taste of the egg, says Tieltra Queen. Exactly. Yes. Right, what am I doing with this? I need to figure this out now. This was like the last time, wasn't it, where none of it made any sense. Except that went perfectly. Okay, that's fine. Right, there's no mould lines. Talking about the mould lines. We'll get those two glued together. Roger, gluing now. Open glue and clear on Zulu, said Ding Chavez. There's a throwback to early 360 games. Dee. That's that on that. Lovely. That's lovely, that is. Yes, it'll be on Gross Models YouTube channel, 11 PM GMT. Heckling encouraged. 11 PM tonight over on Gross Models. If you've got it pre-scheduled, Chris, you can put a link in the chat to it if you want, so people can bookmark it for later. Reese at RJC is in. Hey Fox, hey Reese, welcome, Happy New Year and all that malarkey. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Right, now we need to do the gluing here, which will go like that, you see. I was going to do the 90-degree one, wasn't that one? It looks a bit more action-oriented. Tialtra Queen said, do you ever work with pewter? I haven't. I do have some metal G-dub figures, but I don't think they're pewter, they're just white metal. But no, I've never worked with pewter. The thing about me is that if you're reasonably new to my content, I'm a painter, not a builder. So anything that comes with a simple build where I can just glue it all together and then concentrate on the painting is what I'll do. Anything that involves lots of skills, like woodworking or metalworking, yeah, it's not going to happen. I don't even do like lots of modding on plastic kits like Colin does, just because I'm useless. I'm not practically minded, you see. I mean, I stuck some easy line on this last night to look like a bit of rope around the leg of the little bird so I could super glue the bird on to keep it more rigid, but that's about as far as I go. Happy New Year, mate. Thank you, all good here. Thank you, says Reese. Good, glad to hear it, my friend. Right. Just give me a minute, folks. I can hear Mama Fox doing something with the answer machine downstairs. I'm just going to go and check. Hang on a second. No, false alarm. She was just watching a really loud video on her iPad. Yeah. I thought she was like struggling to operate the answer machine for some reason, but she's just watching a video. It's very weird. Anyway, where were we? So we got some arms to glue on. I think I can safely glue these arms on without impinging on painting possibilities. I think they'll still be paintable. I've got to be cautious and look at things that I can and can't paint. Like, if I glue this arm on, is it going to make painting the armour underneath a nightmare? Probably not, to be perfectly honest. It'll probably be absolutely fine. So let's glue the arms on. I look forward to it, and please remember, we all know and understand the situation. I got a Valkyrie from my daughter, and we'll be making it, dropping off some troops somehow. Yeah, cool. Well, you can... yeah, if you've got troops, you can glue like a couple of troops to the ramp at the back and have them like walking forward. The rest of them, you could use little bits of like wire, I suppose, to have them as if they've just jumped off the ledge. You mean like a Vietnam style? Yeah, I see what you mean. I know what you mean, like dropping out of a helicopter. I know exactly what you mean. Are you going to have the guys in the thing with the guns? It's always recommended. The guys in the hanging out the side. Mit the Guns, ja, das ist richtig. Yeah, so I'll get round to that. Not decided on a colour scheme yet. I could do it the typical Astra Militarum. I could do it Deathcore. That might be interesting. Bit of hardcore Deathcore floaty flyer action. Don't know. I'll probably just do it standard Astra Militarum colours. Rotate that round a bit. It looks a bit gonkier than that angle. That's better. I want him to be shouting, "Come at me, bro!" With your bones that I can use for fuel and healing. Yeah, that looks pretty mint, that. Oh, yeah. He's almost standing up by himself as well, which is kind of impressive. Do. So yes, I will be doing the Valkyrie. What have I got to? I've got to do a Valkyrie. I've got my Valkyrie to do. I've got many things to do. Oops, I'm squashing the arm now and it's drooping. Never have a droopy arm. Yeah, he's kind of doing, "Come at me, bro." I've got my Mortarian that I've got primed up. I need to paint that at some point. That'll be my first introduction to painting big figures. I've never really done big figure painting. But like I was saying in the stream last night, I really do at some point want to get the Lord of Change. and Archaon, because they're beautiful models. But they demand to be painted beautifully, and I don't know if I can do that. So we'll find out. We will find out. Right, so that's that. He's kind of doing the, come at me, bro. I don't know if you can, it's not even on camera. He's like, come at me, bro. Come at me. Come on. Bring it. He's got the swipey arms with the sides. Would think see-through fishing line would work great for the troops deploying. Depends if you want them. If you want them just like dropping down, then yeah, something like see-through fishing line would be great. They'd be a bit wibbly wobbly dangly. If you want them like they've just jumped off the ramp like that, kind of they're going like that and they're just dropping down, that's where little thin acrylic rods might work. Or, you know, if you can, because you don't want them bobbling about when you move it, because then it looks really weird because they're bobbling. You want something rigid. It depends if you want it to be realistic or not. If you're not really fussed about it being not super realistic, you can take the sort of a tip from the way that Games Workshop do their like flyers, their dudes with jetpacks. They're just on little clear, transparent acrylic rods that are curved, and they just glue it on. So there's always a little bit of license you can do. Have like things dangling around. La, 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 la. Peter says, always mit the guns, ja, das ist richtig. Big cranky birdie lord of change, says Angus. Oh, yeah. Right, so that's looking pretty meaty. He's gone from looking like a tiny little thing now to a bit more of a meaty model to paint. And I think that should all still be eminently paintable. I don't see any problems. I've left off the bit of the carapace here that sits like that, because I need to be able to paint the skulls that are just inside his neck, because you can see them from outside. So I need to make sure I can paint inside and paint it dark, and also paint the skulls that are in there, so that when you see them from outside, they're not just bare. So that I'm leaving that off. That's spare bits. That's quite cool. What's next? So we've got the arms. La 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 la. I think all that's left to do now is the big banner that sits on his back, the big standard, and bird. Now the big flag that goes on his back is one of those things that makes him a nightmare to store and pack. I do hate banners. They're such a pain in the bum when you've got to try and store them somewhere, and they've got big sticky up pendants and banners and aerials and stuff. It's like, oh, really? Thanks, Obama. Do. On the other hand, they're kind of fun to paint, so yeah. So we've got the standard, and we have a bird. We've got a bird. It's not quite a crow. It's like some kind of demon crow. It's got like a jaggedy beak. It's like a Age of Sigmar style alien crow nonsense. And we have a thing to go on the base. A bit of scenery. Yeah, that should be the last 3 bits, and I think. Should be, I think, pretty much. Thanks, guys. We'll have to think about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there'll be people out there that have made models of things like, you know, the Vietnam era Hueys or whatever they are, with the guys dropping out. There'll be, I mean, it could be, you could get creative and have things, for example, like have the dropship hovering just above the ground, and then have like cotton wool dust effects to suggest clouds of dust coming up, and inside that cloud of dust you've got the ship there and the base and a cloud of dust, and inside the cloud of dust is little metal rods that hold the figures up that you can't quite see because of the dust, if you want to get creative. But that kind of dust cloud effect can look either really great or really ass. It's a very fine line. Yeah, because, you know, helicopters kick up some dust, so a big massive dropship, that might kick up some dust. You never know. But I'm sure there'll be lots of examples out there of people doing models with like Vietnam era helicopters or that kind of dropships where people are just dropping out. I think having them on something that where they won't wobble is probably good. Or something, I don't know. Right, let's get this pennant done. Yes, I've got my Valkyrie to do. I've got a couple of Forge World tanks I need to do. My Macarius Vanquisher and my Malcador Infernus. I've got my 3-year-old very limited edition Renegade Knight set, which comes with an Imperial Knight and a Chaos Knight and some scenery, which I haven't even opened yet. I've got me doing me Canis Rex Knight free models. What else have I got? Loads of things. I've got loads of things in the backlog of Warhammer stuff I've built and not painted yet. I've got all my Imperial Guard minis and all kinds of stuff. I've got 2 lots or 1.5 lots of the Warhammer Conquest partwork, mine, and of course the one that James sent me. So yeah, I've got loads of stuff to paint. Things like little figures and stuff. I mean, a lot of that might be stuff that I do on live streams. Like for Warhammer Conquest, if I've got like 40 Space Marines to paint, I only need to show how to paint one in a proper video. The rest can be live stream. And James's Conquest stuff that he sent me, I'm going to paint that on live streams, I think. Depends how easy painting on a live stream is. I've done a few different ways of doing it, and it's both easy and difficult. It's easy to do, it's just difficult to get a good camera shot angle. Because I need to get my face close to the model, you see, to see what I'm doing. Well, I've never taken the mould line off a crow before, and it's a right pain. Because it's hard to get to. Lots of detail on this little bird, though. Doodaloo 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 doodaloo. It's got like a skull for a skull, if you know what I mean. His head is more skull than... It's got like a bony head. I think it's actually got his mouth open. Has it got his mouth open? Oh, no. I don't think so. That's just feathers. Yeah, it's got like bony armour over its head, over its face. It's kind of cool. Right, but again, it's got very little... It's got very tiny little legs. So it's got a really weak connection. Whatever I glue it to, it's going to be a weak-ass connection because it's in a tiny area. What's chat doing? Yeah, applying layers of clear polish or acrylic to the line to stiffen it. Be careful not to blob it, says Tealtra Green. Yeah, could do. When is a pennant and not a flag or a banner? I think a pennant's when it's not actually square, I guess. Pennants tend to be like triangular in shape, don't they? I don't know. There's probably some proper meaning, as in a pennant and a flag have different things. Like a flag is a pennant. I don't know. There's probably some different things that you show on flags that you don't show on pennants. Like pennants are perhaps for communication, whereas flags are for allegiance or something. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe pennants are specifically on boats. Maybe it's a specific maritime thing. I know. No, it's a good question, though. Somebody should look that up and put it in chat. Somebody who can go and Google it right now should look that up. Very fiddly little mould lines on this flag slash pennant because it's all tiny edges. Tiny edges. Okay, that bit. I'm actually struggling to see them. I don't want to put my big visor of seeing on because that will just stick out into the camera shot, and then you'll be like, I can't see anything. And I'll be like, yeah, but I can see everything. Can't quite sand this because it's all little jaggedy, bony edges, and I can't get sanding sticks in the gaps. I can go over the tops. Anyway, going back to the conversation earlier on, when we were talking about, you know, me not doing shiny cars, and is the same as Sarah Jane having no desire to do like Warhammer, and other people's have their preferences. What's a genre of model making that you have no interest in, that you just wouldn't want to do? And it could be like a genre, or it could be a type of model. It could be like, you know, you might not like wooden models, or you might just not like making boats. What kind of genre or model type is it that just does nothing for you, that you have no desire to even consider building, because you look at it and go, I'm not interested in that? Not because it's scary, but what just, you're like, that doesn't interest me at all. What doesn't float your boat? Like I said, for me, it's just cars and shiny stuff like that, because I have no interest in them in real life. So, and I also, you know, they scare me to paint, but it just in a genre, a subject. What's the word I'm looking for? In the sense of the subject, they don't interest me, as well as the, you know, the technical side of it. And even aircraft, don't really I float my boat. And I'd say when I was younger, I built a lot of, like, you know, military miniatures and stuff, because they were cool. It was tanks and stuff. But as I've got older, I'm like, not really feeling it. They're not that interesting to me anymore as the subject matter, because I've got into me Warhammer and me Gunpla. And that's, you know, I'll go from whatever interests me at the time. 10 years from now, who knows what we're making? I could be making something completely different. I could be making Spitfires constantly, or who knows? Your preferences always change, and it's good to just accept what you like right now, make what you enjoy, and over time you might just fall into making something else and learn to like it. Nepal's flag is non-quadrilateral, says Candygram. Mayhem says, back, sorry, the one day I said don't pester me, don't poke me, and don't prod me, and what do? Yeah. Speedy Curate says jets and boats, so boring. Angus says dioramas. Peter Davey says Gundam. If you're thinking of a more complicated ground base like the Sand Guru said, playing with resins might work. Well, I was thinking of sand, but more like, yeah, whatever surface you're over, if it's like, if you could have like dust kicking up, that's the kind of thing that people would make out of like fluffy cotton wool type stuff. But again, it can either look fantastic or absolute garbage. So it's a big risk to take that. The other option, of course, would be to, let me get me a bit of paper. The other option is kind of a fudge, is a compromise. If you can't figure out how to have them floating in midair, which is always a bugger, you could, I think that was a drawing of a single-celled organism. I'm pretty sure I was drawing a single-celled organism. I don't know. That's a jellyfish. Anyway, one thing you could do is, depending on how many you want, you could always have like, and it's a bit of a cop-out, but it would kind of work, is have like the back of the dropship there, you know, with your whatever, and you have the ramp down, and maybe you just have like a little bit of a promontory or a cliff here on your diorama, if you're doing a diorama, and you have some guys on the thing, and you have a guy or one or two, one guy who's just landed on the rock and one guy who's stood here, and maybe one guy who's just stepping off, so he's got 1 foot on it. And that way you're not actually having anyone floating in midair, but you are suggesting that the people are jumping from there to there. You're just not showing anybody in the actual middle point of being in midair, and that will get you around it. The tricky bit is, of course, finding the figures that look like they're in the middle of a leaping or jumping pose, because that's not quite so easy with GW figures. But there are ones out there. But you could do that, so you'd have them like, they'd all be either glued to the ramp, or they'd be attached to the diorama, like a cliff. Imagine you've got like some land there and you've got like a little rocky promontory. You could get away with it. You could get away with it, make some rocks and stuff and some grass and trees and whatever. It depends what landscape you're doing. But that's one way you could do it, sort of, and that doesn't require anybody floating magically in midair. Unless it's painted or been worked on, you can clearly tell that cotton wool, wire wool has been used. Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's when it's something like an explosion, you can light it from inside. That can kind of work. And if you watch that video in the Boom Hut the other day I put up about the Halo 3 Believe diorama, they used cotton wool all over the place. Like they had warthogs on the landscape and they had cotton wool to suggest the dust being kicked. That's a professional model diorama built by professional model makers. So, you know, but it's the kind of thing you can tweak with photography to look really cool. And if you light it like it's an explosion, you can light it from inside and it looks kind of cool. But then again, it can also look absolute garbage. So it's, yeah. I've seen things like rally cars where they're doing a sharp turn. You've got dust kicked up in cotton wool, but they've also included little debris in it as well. And it just kind of looks really good. EC Idaho said, I've not planned on work on a model railroad again. It's been 25 years since I worked on anything, and it was all N scale. 2021 brought like 15 HO locomotives used to refurbish and paint. Hee. I'm liking the idea of that suggestion, says Cheltra Queen. What, you mean my little fudging it idea? I like that solution, says Peter. Yeah. Sometimes you've just got to think about, you might want to do X, but if X is just really not possible or really going to be a nightmare, just suggest X. And yeah, like if you want to suggest this thing happening, maybe you don't have to show that, but you can show the before and the after at the same time to suggest that the thing that's happening that you can't portray is actually, you know what I mean? It's Candygram says, I saw a 144th Bandai Falcon on a Bespin base at model show that floated, raised and lowered by magnetic levitation with live smoke and light effects. It was amazing. Yeah, you can use, I've seen people build electromagnets to make floating vehicles that hover, but the trick with that is you have to get all the magnets. Basically you have a circle of magnets, electromagnets, and you have magnets in the base, and you're balancing the model on the magnetic fields. So you've got all these magnetic fields, imagine them as like domes of magnetic fields, and you're balancing all these magnetic fields on top of these other ones. So these ones are facing that way and they're facing that way, and you've got to make them all sit so that the fields coming from the floating vehicle sit in the troughs of the fields from these magnets, and it all sits and locks in place. But eventually, even with the best ones, they do kind of just kind of slide off. I've seen some Eldar flyers like that one floating on magnetic bases, but they do tend to eventually, even the best ones, just slide off. Dan says, I've got no interest in building real world things. Like there's a part work for a Peugeot 205 that's something I just seems boring. Want to do the things from films like the Ecto 1 or the T800. Yeah, there you go. Different folks, different strokes. Right, I've got to glue on this banner and this bird and banner. I don't know how the hell I'm going to store this. Never mind. That needs to go in somewhere. Let's see how vague the instructions are. Please apply it to the part. Oh, it goes into... Does it go into this? Oh, it goes into that. Okay. Oh, there you go. It goes into that like that, you'll say. This is most delectatious. Right, so that's a bit easier. So this is the bit of the armour at the back that I'm going to glue on later because of the reasons. So that can just, in fact, I'll get fat glue for that. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, like I said before, you know, Colin and Sarah Jane and I, we all joke about, like, everybody should build a Baneblade and all that kind of nonsense, but we're just messing about. Ultimately, everybody should build what interests them. It's like when people used to say to me back in my Gunpla days, what's a good Gunpla? If I want to get into Gunpla, what should I build? And I just say, go and look at the boxes, look at all the photographs or the images, and just the first one that makes you go, oh, that looks cool, then that's the one you should start with. Because there's no point building something unless you think, oh, that looks awesome. And that's why I'm sure over time I'll flit from thing to thing. I won't be doing Warhammer forever, I won't be doing Gunpla forever, and you know, I'll swap and change. I'll get bored of things and do other things and all kinds of things. Things is the word I'm looking at, things. Many things. Apparently this bird needs to go on right where there's a nub that I've not taken off. God damn it. 2 nubs even. After having just glued on that very delicate flag, I've now got 2 nubs I've forgotten about. Do you know? Because I didn't actually clean this part up, did I? You idiot. No, I took it off quickly to test it out and I never cleaned it up. Oh, flange. Let us do that now then, carefully, without breaking the flag I've just put on there. Or did I clean it up? No, not at all. There's a nub. There's a nub, there's a nub. He's Ebenezer nub. There we go. Gently clean these nubs off because I don't want to snap the arms that I glued on or the pennant I've just glued on. Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's always best thing to do is just build what you think is interesting, what makes you go, oh, that's cool. Because like I say, you might sit there now and say, yeah, I have no desire to build X, Y, or Z. But, you know, 5 years from now, you might see a particular example of X, Y, or Z, and you go, actually, you know, that does look pretty good. I could see myself building that. And then you'll get it, and then you'll suddenly find that you like that particular genre or field or style or whatever it is. Or you might not. You might still hate that thing, but you just like that particular kit. So, you never know. So I would say there's nothing really I would say I have no interest in that field, apart from cars and bikes. But I would say, I'd never say never, but at the same time, I know the technical things that you have to do to get those kits looking good, and I can't do that. So that's a secondary thing that means I will never do cars and bikes. Planes, I can't say no, because they don't interest me, but I can weather them. And so I can't say 100% that at some point in the future I'll be like, oh, that kit of that plane looks cool, I need to build that. You know, planes, yeah, I might do. I have no interest in them, but I can't write them off completely. I think that's a little bit of a mould line there, but we can scrapulate that away. Am I even on camera? Yeah, vaguely. You could get a 1-to-1 Peugeot 205 for the price of the part work if you look, says Bobbins. That's pretty much the spot on there. Also, be aware that that Peugeot 205 part work is actually in French. It's a French company and the instructions are actually in French. I can't remember the name of the company now. I think they do like a digital version in English, but yeah, they're in French. Because it's a little independent French part work company. Apparently in Europe and France there are like small companies that do like part works and they have like a catalogue of one part work kit. You know, unlike Diag or Hachette, who are big companies. Right, I think that's fairly clean. I think we can survive with that. I've got to glue this bird on now somehow. Let's get the tweezers. Tweez are good, tweez are good. Nope, tweez are not good. I have no interest in the field, said the hobbyist. I can't drive a tractor. Here all week, try the fish. Here all week, try and... I should have done this bird before I did the flag, shouldn't I? I've made a rod for my back here. Not quite sure how it's supposed to attach. Is it I assume both feet are designed to fit on the thing. It's going to be shonky. Where does it go? It goes on that sticky up bit there. Okay. Dibby dibby dee, dibby dibby dee. I think I see where it's supposed to go. Of course, actually getting it on there is a whole different matter. Apologies if this is not exactly on camera. Not exactly going to be the securest of fits, but we shall... Oh no, there he goes. Yeah, you put the glue on and it just sticks a little bit, and then you put a bit more glue on and it melts and then it falls off. Always the way with little tiny fiddly bits. This bird may not last the day. Go. Get on your bone, bird. Right, you stay there and don't move. I'll glue you again a bit more in a minute. Yes. Assuming that fits on there like that. There you go. Yeah, that works. Yeah, so I don't want to glue them again now. Yeah, sometimes you'll like put a little bit of extra thin and you'll stick it together and it'll stick, but then when you add a little bit more it just goes and falls apart because you remelt the plastic. Yeah, it's something you learn straight away when you start using extra thin, and then you forget instantly all the time. Like a thing that you learn and always forget, if you know what I mean. Right, so the next bit is this little sword which goes on the base, and that can just kind of go anywhere really. Just plonk it there, because I can build up terrain around it. So, texture. And that. Move this out of the way. Where's my spot? There's my spot. That's my spot there. There we go. That's going to sit on there like that. Rar, rar, rar. Give me your bones. I make people and heal them. Thank you very much. That can just sit there like that. There we go. Dead simple, that one. So this can kind of go anywhere, really. I'll build up, I'll build up terrain around it. When I eventually put some stuff on here, I'll probably build things into the base. Do. I like having figures on bases at jaunty angles. They're not just facing that way or that way, it actually faces that way. It's kind of cool. There we go. Done. That's that one. So, I think that actually finishes the Dukes of Hazzard Harvest Festival. I think. Yes! So there we go, that finishes the Dukes of Hazzard Harvest Festival. Goth is our harvester. Now again, like I've explained at the start, this guy's on a little base, so I can stick him on that and paint him. I can get to everything without any problems there, so that should be fine for painting. This is why you want to build in sub-assemblies. I could have kept the arms so the legs separate, but easier just to glue them on. I need to attach them to a base somehow. This bit I'll leave off. I will leave off just so I can paint in the skulls inside. I'll just put a bit more glue on his feet. There you go. That's him attached now, hopefully forever. Although his feet are kind of munged in now into the bones, but never mind. And then we've got the base. So that is that done. Let's have a quick look at chat. Edward Leonard's in. Squishy hugs for Edward. Hey Edward, welcome, welcome. Mobius PC says, just want to say thanks for your Bandai Minimum Falcon and weathering. I haven't finished it, but not far from the painting stage. You're more than welcome, Mobius. I hope you're having fun with it. Take your time with the painting stage. There's no rush to the finish. If you need to, you can finish the build and then leave it for 6 months. Come back to it in a year, whenever you want. No rush. Howdy Fox Chat People says Edward. Yay, laying real close to the ground will give you a realistic sense of landing, says Teotra Queen. Understand, EC says, understand most of the locomotives I repaint on will correct the railroad and up making it. Faff, really? Yes. Yeah. Anyway, this is done. I shall put that to one side because I need to let that little birdie bird set for a bit, and the arms that I've glued on. So we'll sit over there for now. But what I think we can do, we'll get rid of these two bits that I don't need. In the interests of, I'm never going to do Age of Sigmar again. Well, I'm not going to do a lot of Age of Sigmar anyway, but I'm probably not going to use for these bones. I'll keep them to one side, but I'll probably just throw them away. I've got massive overflowing boxes full of bits, to be perfectly honest. And I'm kind of running out of space to store all bits and spare bits, so I'll put them to one side. What I shall do, what time is it? 4:32. What I'll do, let me get the box and we'll see what the next one is. Let's have a look in the box and see what else we can build. Now, like I said, this is the Battleforce, so there's a lot of things we can build. There's a lot of many things. We've got 20 Mortec Guard. We've got 3 Metropolis. Three Metropolis Stalkers. We've got 3 Necropolis Stalkers or Immortis Guard. We've got the entire big-ass Mortec Crawler. And we have the Mortec Soul Reaper, or the Mortisan Soul Reaper. And I think there's something else. Oh no, that's it. There's a whole mess of crap we can build. So I think what I should probably do is build the something small, as we've only got like a bit left. We haven't got a whole day left, so why don't I build the Mortisan Soul Reaper? We'll see if we can get that done. I've got to find the sprue for it. It'll be a single sprue. It'll be not that guy, because that's the Bone Weaver or whatever he's called. Adobe Photoshop Dreamweaver or something. I don't know, something like that. That is this guy here. So only a few bits to this guy. Kind of cool looking. The Mortisan Soul Reaper. This guy obviously reaps souls from the dead. And then sells them on eBay for the monies, I guess. Right, so we'll get him done. That should keep me busy for half an hour. Put all these instructions back. What base will I need for him? Base, how low can you go? He needs a 32mm base, which is... I do wish they'd mark on the bases what they are. But they never do. They never do. So... let me cut a little bit of that off and we shall have a look and see. 32mm. Which one that is. I suspect it's going to be... Is it one of these? With hex holes, and there are no holes. Brilliant. Let's do some measuring. If I can get my ruler out. 32mm, which is not that one. Okay, so that's far too big. It's more like a... What size was that one? That was a 50mm. Okay, I should have known that really. It's going to be that one there, isn't it? Base! How low can you go? Base, will you get back inside? 32mm, which is that one. There you go. Just under 30mm. Is that 32mm? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, probably. Probably 32mm. Is it the same size as that one, or is it bigger or smaller? Nah. This is why I like the Death Guard Combat Patrol, because it actually had the diagram of the bases at the correct size, so you could go, that's a 32mm. I think that's a 32mm. I think we're fairly safe on that one. I've got a little peg so I can close the bag. Oh, locking the camera. Apologies. Come on. Come out the drawer. God damn it. There we go. I won't lose my bases. Folding would be good. There you go. Folding's always a good option. Right, so that's that bit. That's the sprue. Print a damn number underneath, GW. Yeah, I wish they would just print the number on the bottom of the base so you can see what base it is. Like I say, in the Death Guard Combat Patrol, it actually has the circle sizes full 1-to-1, so you can actually look at them and say that's the 32mm. And that's great. And I've never seen that before. And we'll never see it again. Mortec Crawler, you mean the luggage launcher, lawn chair? Oh yeah, cat bus skull thrower. I'm surprised Dan hasn't tried anything silly yet, says Mayhem. I'm sure he will. Anyway, where are we? Yes, because I'm getting carried away reading the chat there. Right, so let's build the Mortisan Soul Reaper from the Ossiarch Bonereapers. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, not many pieces on this. All tiny bits. Darren Edmonds is in and says, Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome, Darren, and Happy New Year to you, my friend. God, this guy's tiny. It's going to be painting Sisters of Battle all over again, isn't it? No. Right, 1 and 2 I need. Find 1 and 2. There's 2. Yeah, painting the Sisters of Battle was really hard work because it was so tiny. My old man eyes were really pushed to the limit. And my old man painting skills. 2 is... There's only 7 parts, Fox. Come on. Where's 2? I mean, where's 1? There's 1. It's the big bit that's most of the dude. That's the bit you want. There you go. La 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 la. That's number 1. Cashier number 1, please. I'll cut that bit further back so it can be cleaned up. In fact, I just cut all the bits off, couldn't I, really? And then... No, let's just not make that mistake. Let's go slowly. Take it slowly. Right, so... We're up to on camera, there we are. La 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 la. How's the stream looking, by the way, folks? Doing alright? My internet was a bit ropey the other day, so hopefully everything's working fine for you. We're all looking and sounding good. Do let me know. I've already run out of things to talk about. Maybe a bit of painting before assembly. Oh, never. Never, 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 never. I'll do sub-assemblies, but I never paint on the sprue. No, 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 no. Can't be doing with that. It's just because they're so small. I struggle a little bit with the old man eyes. And the old man trying to get a brush to go where it's supposed to go. That's why I like Space Marines, because they're quite big, and I like Imperial Guard because they're kind of simple and chunky and therefore not hard to paint. When you get into delicate little figures like this, it's like, oh, fudge. But thankfully I won't ever need to paint Sisters of Battle again, so... That's annoying, little bit that's fluffy there that I can't get rid of. Come on, off you come. There you go. Sometimes you get a little shavy nub of plastic, little flap of plastic that won't come off. And it's like, get off. I command you. Be gone. Speedy Creates has got a scoop. Be good and stay safe, people. Take care, Spid. Thanks for coming in. Fox only paints Gunpla before assembly. No. I'll paint, like I say, sub-assemblies, not a problem. But I never paint on the sprue. There's never a good reason to do that. See, ideally, with a model, what you should be able to do, well, with a mini at least, with a mini, ideally what you should be able to do is build the whole damn thing and then paint it. And for some you can. Quite happily sit here and paint a whole batch of Tempestus Scions fully assembled, or Space Marines or something. No problem. But sometimes, you know, you've got to keep sub-assemblies going on. So, like an Imperial Knight, I can build the entire inner frame, or the whatever, and paint that up, and have the armor pieces added later. But I'm not going to paint stuff on the sprue. Nah. Because all you do when you paint it on the sprue is you then get it off the sprue and you've got to clean up where you've cut it off the sprue, and then you've just ruined half your paint job. So you may as well just get it off the sprue first. Like you see all the sanding I'm doing to get rid of all the mould lines. How do you get rid of all the mould lines while it's still on the sprue? You can't. And if you then have to get rid of all the mould lines, you're basically having to repaint it. So yeah. But as I go along, when I'm building, as I go along, I'm assessing it for things that I can sub-assemble. I mean, the thing is, if you're watching me now, you realise how much I put into cleaning up all the mould lines and nubs and stuff. I get quite obsessive about it. So, yeah, if I painted this and then took it off the sprue, there'd be nothing left of the paint after I've cleaned it up. But I don't know what I was saying now. Let's have a look. Mayhem says, never paint assemblies. Schools take a dim view of making them stand still for so long. There was also that time when it was a competition and he built and painted the kit before the competition started. I did no such thing. I may have assembled sub-assemblies and primed it. I may. May is the word. Because there's no proof of this. Oops. I mean, at the end of the day, you do what works for you. There's no... I don't know where that went. There is truly no right and wrong. There's always different ways of doing things, but I mean, I just have my way of doing things, which is not to paint on the sprue, because the cleanup you can see I'm doing here, getting rid of nubs and stuff, you've destroyed half your paint job instantly if you already painted it. But sub-assemblies, absolutely. Like I said with this guy, you know, I've assembled all that because I know I can paint all that. There's nothing I can't get to paint, so that's fine. But I've left the top off so I can get in there to paint them bits. If, for example, that arm was obscuring some part of the body that I need to get to paint some fine details, and I can't get that because of the arm, I wouldn't have glued the arm on. But because I can, it's not getting in the way of anything. It's not a problem. Not a problem. You know, I won't glue the top on a rhino because I might want to paint the interior. On the Tempestus, on the Taurox Prime I didn't glue the roof on because it fit into place perfectly anyway without glue, and I wanted to paint the inside. So I think when I do my Valkyrie, I might look at if it's possible to magnetise the top, the roof part, so I can leave it off to paint the interior and then just snap it into place. That'd be cool. But I've not really looked at the kit yet, so I don't know. I do not know how this will work. Sweet, been waiting for this one. What for the Mortisan Soul Reaper? Only a little tiny dude. Unfortunately, my sanding sticks are like 10 times as big as the actual finger, which makes life a bit challenging. Dirty great nub, I can see you from one angle only. I'm loving the detail on it there. There's like the back of the feet there that you probably can't see once it's done. Where was that? I just found a nub and now I can't find it. It's gone. Oh, there it is. I mean, I'm not quite like, you know, Golden Demon painting level, clean up nub removal type stuff. Like our friend Simon Reynolds, twice Golden Demon winner, you know what I mean? He would spend a week just cleaning this up. I'm not quite that bad, but I am slow because I take a long time to clean things up. I just don't like having mould lines and stuff. It tests me. And especially when, like, you know, you do a beautiful paint job. There's nothing worse than doing a careful paint job for, like, you know, spending a day or a couple of days carefully painting something. Carefully painting. Doing your best work, and then you take a photograph to put on Facebook, on the website, and lo and behold, it's at that moment, as you're posting the photograph up and it goes live on Facebook, on the website, it's at that exact moment that you spot a dirty great mould line you hadn't noticed. Because you spend every day looking at it, you don't see, you know, you don't see the wood for the trees. And it's always the way. You always see a dirty great mould line that the camera can see that you couldn't see with your eyes. And you're like, oh, flange. It's always the way. It's like when I was doing the Bane blade. I can't remember where it was, but there was one seam line on one of the Bane blades. Like a mould line on something. And it was like, I could see it on the photograph. I took the photograph. I'd finished painting it. I could see it on the photograph. And I saw it and I thought, actually, you know, I could probably clean that up dead quickly without damaging the paint job too much. It'd be easy to clean up. I couldn't find it. I looked with my bare eyes and magnifiers and I couldn't actually find it. But as soon as you took the photograph, this thing popped out and I'm like, I would clean it up, but I can't see it without So I don't know why. It was literally, I took another photograph and it was there. Looked at it with my bare eyes, my naked eye, and it was like, I really can't see it. So I just thought, well, if I can't see it and I know it's there, then I think it'll be fine. But that happens. It's really weird when that happens. It's really quite odd. Because you know it's there. You've seen it on the photograph, but you just can't see it. It's really weird. Eyes are weird. Looking is strange. Find the nub, gotta go, find the nub, sing that to the Spider-Man theme, says Mayhem. I won't do that for copyright, but thank you. I've searched for but never found picture of size Golden Demon Award-winning figures. You probably won't. I think he may have not been under that name. And if he was, I think he probably went for minimal publicity. He's never posted up about it. He shies away from publicity, Si. That's why he started a YouTube channel, but he'll never do anything with it. It's not really who he is. I mean, I don't actually know. Even I must admit, he's shown them to me once. He's shown me. I've seen the Golden Demon. I've seen the actual award. I've seen the. I know it's real. I've seen him, but I can't tell you. I can't remember for the life of me what there actually was that he painted. It was probably an earth squig, I think. Something to do with the squig, I would suspect. Quite possibly. I can't remember. So don't take that as read. He did send me a photograph of him stood on the stage where they were giving out all the prizes, like, you know, the Silver Slayer sword and the Golden Demons. And he was like, I'm there right on the stage. I'm like, what? And he said, there, I'm that guy in the background. All you can see is the top of his shoulder because everybody else is stood in front of him. All right. It's me, it's just the worst photograph ever. Bless. Right, that's that bit cleaned up. And this needs to go on to... there, apparently. Somehow. Somehow. Or is this meant to... How is this meant to apply? What? Another one of these vague connection points, isn't it? Here we go. So that needs to... it wouldn't be so bad if this diagram wasn't absolutely tiny to start with. Oh, man. Right, so this goes like that. This goes like... that. Kajit does not understand this. This is making no sense at all. Where's the... It's quite literally making no sense at all to me, this. This is the thing all over again. So that needs to be like... what now? Oh, I see. That goes in there. Like, okay, that makes sense. All right, I've got it. I think. I got it. I don't got it. Well, I hope that's right, because if it's not right, I'm a bit screwed. I think that's correct. I think that's how it's supposed to be. I'm going to tell you how it's going to be. Re-record, not fade away. There we go. So that should go in there like that, you see? I think. It's all guesswork at this point. I don't know. This Age of Sigmar stuff seems to like being vague about things. Although I've got to say, where I've just joined those two parts together, I can't see where the join is. Oh, it's there. That's pretty impressive. I've just stuck two bits together and I cannot tell you where the actual join mark is. Because the actual gap is built into the shape of the bones. So that's quite impressive that you can't see that bit. Okay, I'll give them points for that. I'll give you points for that, lad, alright. I'm subscribed to Si's channel. Hopefully he'll make a video someday. Hopefully he will. Everyone else is stood in front of him now. He's like, camera, crap, camera, hide. Don't care for the size of this one, says Teltra Queen. Yeah, these are tiny ones. Individual ones. I've got all the Mortec Guard as well, and they're going to be the same kind of size. They're like realistic human size, so I suppose. Do. With Scotch's lifetime guarantee. You get it. I can imagine this will be fun to paint, but just very... I mean, luckily it's mostly bone and cloth, so it's not going to be like I've got to paint lots of crisp, sharp, delicate edges, but hey, you know, we'll get there. 3 and 4 I need. I just wish the instruction sheet was, you know, big enough for me to actually see with my eyes, but never mind. Moving on. They appear to be like a set of lungs or something. I don't know what these bits are. They look like lungs or chests or something, I don't quite know. Right, 3 and 4. So 4 is the bonds. Hello. All these dudes look so angry. Why does everybody look so angry? Why can't there ever be people that look happy in Warhammer? Happy little Warhammer people. There must be some somewhere. 3 I need. Was it 3? 3 and 4. 3 is the other side of the cloak. That's fairly straightforward. I mean, maybe there's an Imperial Guardsman that really loves his job, or a Space Marine that's really happy to be a Space... I don't know. There must be somebody somewhere that enjoys their job, surely. It's got to be somebody. I mean, who isn't, you know, obviously like Tzeentch or Slaanesh, because they always look happy. So, yeah, they're kind of the exception. They look happy for different reasons. That's tricky to get that off. Nub. That figure is $28. It must be powerful for that kind of money, says Edward. Doesn't have any points on it, but yeah, it'll be like a... It'll be like a important character. So yeah, some of these ones are quite expensive. And that's the thing, that's the weird pricing of Games Workshop over and over again. Sometimes something small and that you think will be cheap is expensive, and sometimes something big is cheap because it's not worth much in the game. It does take a while to get your head around it. Once you get it, you're like, okay, well, fair enough. I guess. Maybe. But it still stings. Sometimes. But then again, if you play the game and you know the importance of a character in the team, then you probably sit a bit feel about it a bit differently. Just from a modeller's point of view, it's like, really? 25 quid for that? I could buy an entire Tamiya tank for that. I'm trying to get rid of this nub, and everything's spiky and hurts. Ooh. Itch. Is this file going to be small enough? Just about. Got these little things, these little ornaments, and they've put the nubs on these delicate little scabbards, which is great, except to get rid of the nub you've got to butcher the scabbard, and it just looks terrible now. And there's no way to, without being an amazing nub removal person, no way you're going to do that without making a mess of it. Kind of a bit pants. But I can fix it with some extra thin, I hope. Smooth it down a bit. Yeah, it's fudged, but it'll work. And there's one on the other side as well. Thanks, G-dubs. Sometimes they are a bit dumb with their nubs. Nub dumb. Right. Again, not brilliant, but 'twill do. 'Twill suffice. A bit of extra thin just to get rid of the fluffy, scrapey bits. Got normal nub there. That's a normal nub that can easily be cut off and filed and sanded. That's fine. We don't mind those. It's a handy tip though if you've never done that before. When you are filing or sanding or something and you get removing nubs and you get that kind of little rough texture left behind, a little touch of extra thin, but just damp the brush in the glue. Don't have actual tons of glue on the brush. Just get the brush damp and just wipe it over, and it just softens any fluffy bits, cleans them up nicely. Run that around the edge without having to snap anything. Oops. But I suppose that's the difficulty when you get like an important character in the game that costs a lot of points in the game, and yet it's just one figure. It's going to be small and not impressive compared to if you get an important character in the game that's a dirty great big vehicle. Of course that's a more impressive model, so to the modeller's point of view you're like, well, why am I paying 25 quid for that dude when I can buy an entire, like, you know, Valkyrie for a bit more, or a, you know, land speeder with 6 dudes in a vehicle. So yeah, it's weird. Where are we? Nub. Well, she's so small, getting the facial features to flourish is going to be difficult. It's a skeleton, so it's just bone, which is the easy, makes it easy. It's just bones. So you, well, although this person isn't just bone coloured, it's like blacks and weird ethereal colours, but yeah. But like when I was doing the Sister of Battle, the Imagifier, God, that was tricky, that was. And bizarrely, the face was the easiest bit. The armour was the tricky bit to paint. I don't know why. I just lost the ability to paint fine detail. Well, I think at the time I was going through a difficult patch and I was probably stressed out and my hands weren't as steady as they could be anyway, so... Lately I seem to have found my little painting groove a little bit. Let's put a nub on the chin. But at least these are all bones and skeletons, so it does make life a little bit easier. It's not like having to paint an actual face that looks like a face. What was that? Somebody sent me a message. Mould line is a natural separation between the back of the head and the front of the head, so that's fine. I don't need to worry about that. There's a visible mould line on the crest, so I need to get rid of that. It's only very subtle though. Crest. Underneath the R. Oh, he's not here, is he? Oh, fudge. It's not the same without Colin. Right, where are we up to? Let's have a look at that. When I first started buying these, I bought a couple of clamshell single figures and thought, what the hell, I paid $35 for that little thing. Then I paid more attention. Says Edward. Yeah. Slanesh always have rictus grins on their faces. To be fair, stuff that's in 75mm has my interest right now, says Mayhem. Yeah. Or a big imposing demonic Draven Mandingus. Oh yeah. Alright. I think that mould line on the side of the head can just be left as it is, because it, like I say, it looks like 2 bone plates. I will just run the glue. I'll get the head on the thing for it, and then I'll run some glue around that little rough bit I've just put in. So this needs to go on the back. That's fairly self-evident. Of course, how it goes on the back is a whole different question. I suspect like that. Oh, that just fitted in like magic. There's a little bit of a mould line or a gap between the front and back, but that can easily be cleaned up with the glues. Wow, I can't even get it off now. It's cool. That fits in nicely. That, I can't get it on now. It just kind of locked into place. It fell into place. Now I can't get it on. There we go. So that goes like that. So I can just... Again, I've just put that on and it's impossible to see where it joins. It's such a good fit. You just can't see where that bit ends and the top bit starts. We'll get some glue down this bit here, this join, because we can fill that join with the glue. The join there is completely hidden, almost. It's like when you're doing greatcoats, say on the Adeptus Mechanicus, or you're doing like Deathcore. They always manage to make sure that the gap between the front and the back of the greatcoat or the cloak is where the actual seam, the natural clothing seam, as in the seam that the person that made the coat, the seam in the fabric, goes. So you can get away with it by just making it look like a seam, a sewn seam, which is cool. I like that. Okay, so that's there. So there's a little tiny seam line there, but once that glue is dried, I'll go over it with the scrapey tool and it'll go, because the glue's filled it in nicely. The glue has filled that gap completely, so that's perfect. And the rest of it just looks like bits where there's bones and stuff. That's really nicely done. I'll give you credit for that, G-dubs. That's really nicely done. Got to put the bonce on. Look at the bonsularity. I've got to be careful now, I don't want to squish the thing I've just glued on. So that's going to go on there, not a problem. Now normally for things like heads and arms and stuff, I'd use like the regular fat glue so that it's got some structural strength when I glue it on, that it stays on by itself. But to be perfectly honest, these pieces are so tiny and so light that I don't need to worry about that. A little touch of extra thin. And we have a head, and we have the back end, and our Kai Power Tools Dreamweaver, or whatever he's called. God, Kai Power Tools, there's a memory. Who remembers Kai Power Tools? Oh, page curls. Oh. That has always bugged me, the mould lines on things like head crests or clothing. Well, like I say, on a great coat where you've got like a seam from the pocket that runs, if you look on a real coat, you have a seam down and that you kind of get away with it. But then again, when you get cloaks and things, they're actually really easy to clean up because you just squeeze the glue when it's dry, just scrape it down, sand it, it's perfect. No problem at all. But I do need to run a damp glue brush over that head on the crest just to soften my scraping marks. So take most of the glue off the brush. I just want it damp. Running it along that edge where I scraped. It's also a really good idea if you're drilling out barrels. When you've drilled out the barrel, it'll be like soft and fuzzy and scrapey. Just do the same again. Get a damp brush and just run it. And that's how you can hide all that. What was that? There we go. So that's there. That's the head done. What's next? I can hear Mama Fox sneaking up the stairs. Hello, Mama Fox. Hello. The internet says hello. Hello, internet. Mama Fox says hello, internet. There you go. I don't think she realised what a legend she is on the internet without actually doing anything. I don't know. I need to do more painting in... I'll start again. I need to do more mini painting in 2022. I guess this is close to a resolution that I've ever made. Mayhem says, I thought your resolution was supposed to be 1080. Edward says hello to Mama Fox. Right, what's next? We need parts 5 and 6. I do like these single figure models that they actually use proper numbering order. 5... We finally find out what part 6 is. A piece, thing that was like lungs. Or chests if it's female, I don't know. I don't know. They look kind of like lungs. I'm kind of disturbed actually. Are they supposed to be like fleshy lung parts? You'll see what I mean. Maybe if you could see them up close, but it looks like like lungs with a bit of a trachea down the middle. I don't quite know. Where's its... Oh, it's actually shoulders. Okay. Here's the... Oh, that's weird. I have the most weird thoughts, clearly. 6 and 5 I need. 5 is this Scallybob dude. That the Soul Weaver is, I assume, weaving. No. I don't know. We'll find out. Kai Power Tools, good God. That's going back a long way. It's going back to early days of building websites when everything was exciting and animated GIFs were the best thing ever, and we were complete idiots. Mayhem says, hello Mama Fox, Happy New Year. So does Candygram. Ashley Swanson, hey Ashley, how you doing? Welcome, Happy New Year. How is Mama Fox doing? She's doing alright. Takes a long time to heal from serious illness when you're thousands of years old, unfortunately. So it's slow, slowly getting there. Hopefully, I hope. Yeah. Healing is a slow process. We're up to, so we've got this dude here, which is all fiddly little tiny bits. Got more nubs on this. I assume it's like a little blade scabbard, but I can't quite tell. Can't quite tell. I'm really hungry, actually. I've got to be honest with you. I'm actually really hungry right now. My plan for turkey bacon and salad may end up being takeaway, I don't know. Yeah, more takeaway. Good God, Fox, really? I've got a load of washing up to do. I tend to let it pile up for 2 or 3 days because I'm lazy. Well, I'm not lazy. I get busy doing other things. And washing up is low on the list of priorities. And yeah, and then I'm like, oh, I've got no cutlery left. I need to do the washing up. So when I finish a stream, it's like go downstairs, do the washing up for like hours because it's loads of it. Then I make the dinner. Then I eat my dinner. Then I'm tired. Then can't do much else after that. The exciting life that I lead. Which is why I am very grateful to my patrons and channel members, because you know, without them, I'd have to go out and get a job. And that will be a bad thing for one reason, not because I'm lazy and I can't be bothered going out and getting a job, but more because of the kindness of my patrons and my members, I can do this for a living, which means I'm at home all the time, which means I'm able to look after Mama Fox. And that's the important bit. If I was going out to a job every day for 7 or 8, 9 hours, you know, Mama Fox is not at the stage of being able to look after herself particularly well. It just wouldn't happen. It wouldn't be. It's just not going to happen. So I need to be here. So the fact that doing this for a living, because of your generosity to my patrons and members, it's incredible. It's all come together at the right time, you know. Without your support, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. So I can't thank any of you enough, anywhere near enough, for your kindness and also the generosities for making this possible. I know, you know, we pimp our, you know, I pimp my Patreon and stuff, and some people don't like the fact I do that. And I say, well, it is a business. I'm running a business. You know, hey, forgive me for trying to make my business actually, you know, make some money. But my motivation is that I need to be here. And I can't be here if I need to go and get a job to pay the bills. But I can be here if people are making it possible for me to be here and earn a living at home. So if people don't like me, you know, pimping that, then I don't really care. We do what we do to survive, and that's how we survive. So I can't thank my patrons and members anywhere near enough. Big, massive thank you to all of you. Content's been a bit rubbish for the last year or so, for obvious reasons, but hopefully we're on the upward slope now. What's chat doing? Animated GIF. Anyone says GIF, I'm going to throw kitchen cleaner. Anyone says GIF, they're just banned. Candygram. Channel members can post an icon of frustrated fox. Yes. But Fox is frustrated most times. He's a painter, not a builder. Well, there is that. Anytime I'm building, there's going to be potential for wibbles. Unless it's an absolutely brilliant build that goes together like a dream and there's no issues whatsoever. in which case we're happy with that. These nubs are quite tricky to get to. I've got nothing to grip onto when I'm trying to denub it, which is frustrating. I'm going to have to use the file of happiness just to get rid of that nub, because I can't get it off with a knife. Meh. Scraping now, sir. I've been watching the latest series of Star Trek Discovery, which, by some miracle, is one of the Star Trek properties I can still watch because I'm on Amazon Prime. I'm not on Paramount Plus, so I can't watch pretty much any other Star Trek property, unfortunately. Damn it. But I can watch Discovery. Although I have to buy it. This is the Amazon Prime last year. Seasons 1, 2 and 3, it was free on Amazon Prime. Now it's on Paramount Plus. I have to buy it to watch it. It's like, oh, really? Well, I need some Star Trek. I can't not have any Star Trek. So I treated myself. But it's like... And that's the thing with stuff, all these new Plus services, you know, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, and it's like, I can't afford all these things. It's like a nightmare. I might save up and renew my subscription on Disney Plus. That was gifted to me for a year, so I might renew my subscription for that, because I do like the Marvel stuff, and it's, you know, it's not like I can watch it anywhere else at all. So yes, I think I'll be able to watch. Well, I'll probably get Picard as well on Amazon, but I'm sure I'll have to pay for that because I haven't got a Paramount. I think it's free if you've got a Paramount Plus subscription, but I don't have one, so I have to pay for it. It's like, ugh. And that's the thing. It's like, wait, it's Amazon. I'm paying on Amazon Prime, but then I have to pay extra for another service to watch the thing. No, that's not how this works. Come on now, it's nonsense. Right, these are the not lungs but shoulder blades apparently. They attach like that, I think. Something like that. It's difficult when you can't see. You've got holes and nubs that go together and you can't actually see either of them when you put them together. It's like, hang on, where's it go? How does this go? Oh, the other way around for a start. That would be a good start then, wouldn't it? There you go. That's better, I think. That's better. That's Tetley. I think that's right. Yes, they're not lungs. They're apparently some sort of shoulder-like devices. Apparently, little touch of glue, and then they go this way up, not the other way up, because they need to go that way up. And then they fall off. Brilliant, with the glue not in place. Fantastic. That sits on there like that. They're going to fall off because it's not the strongest of fixes with the glue that evaporates very quickly. So I would use extra fat glue rather than this extra thin, because the fat glue sits there for ages, and when you stick a piece on, it sticks just by the viscosity of the glue, and then you can add other bits later. With extra thin, you put your extra thin on, you get the pieces together, and by the time you get them together, the glue's evaporated away, and it's like nothing sticks. But I can't use extra fat glue on something this tiny, because the brush is bigger than the entire torso, so it would just be a mess. So that's that bit. Looking pretty good. Next we have the scaly bobolons, which needs to attach to the... Oh no, it's a chest piece. There we go. I thought it was like a dude, but it's not. Yeah, this is how hard it is to see what's actually what on this model. Is I thought this was a dude, and it's not. It's a chest armour. There's just no kind of logical frame of reference on something this small. That goes in like... This is where I realise I've got the chest wrong and it's all ruined. That goes in like that. There we go. Oh yes. There we go. Lovely. Again, all the little join lines completely hidden. They've done a really good job. I mean, there's not much they could do about the ones that are in the cloak, But the rest of them, bravo, Games Workshop. Absolutely bravo. They look like natural cracks in the armour, or folds, or just creases or gaps that will be there anyway. So absolutely points for that. I'm very impressed, especially on such a tiny, tiny figure. Most impressive. Only one bit left then. One bit left is the wispy bit where she or he is doing soul reaving. Andy says, "But Fox, you don't wibble. You're a princess." I am a princess. Now all I have is a vision of Fox in a pimp suit. Funnily enough, there is a picture of cartoon Fox in a pimp suit. When I used to work with my friend doing detailing, we used to sell detailing products. One of the bits, I did all the social media stuff. One of the bits I did was we did some air fresheners, and one of the air fresheners was the Fox character, because I used the Fox character because I was lazy. Use this character, I've already created it, as the mascot. And on this particular air freshener, he's there in this big, like, zebra skin pattern pimp suit. So I'll find it later. There is an image of Fox in a pimp suit. I don't know where it is. Of the Fox character stood there in a big zoot suit, zebra skin zoot suit, or leopard skin. Is it leopard skin or zebra skin? Zoot suit with a big floppy hat, feather in the hat, of course, and a big medallion with the company logo on the medallion. Ask and you shall receive. There's always a picture of Fox doing something. That character's been around for a long time, so. It's like, if I do your social media, you're going to have a mascot. And if you're going to have a mascot, your mascot's going to be the character I've had for the last 15 years. It's just going to get repurposed. That's the way it is. Oh, you're an electricity company. What you need is this Fox character because he's awesome. Oh, you sell weapons. Okay, what you need is this Fox character because he's awesome. He's perfect. Oh, you're a medical supply company, right? What you need is this Fox character. Just trust me, it'll be brilliant. Yeah, Fox has been around for a long time. It's kind of really weird when he's got my name, because he didn't have my name originally. But then when I started doing the comic strip, of course, I used the same character. So it's when it kind of became, because it was both supposed to be like me and my friend Mark, so it's Fox and Mark. So it's like, okay, so he's now called me, and that makes it really awkward because I've got to talk about somebody else with the same. It's really weird. When I say Fox did or Fox said, it's like, it can get a bit confusing. It's a very weird conversation to have, put it that way. But I was really kind of conscious, because like, I don't want to do a Mary Sue character, but it's supposed to represent sort of me, but like a cartoon, childlike version of me, because it's things from my real life that inspired the comic strip. So it's like, yeah, how do I do that without making it into a complete Mary Sue? And I was like, well, the only way I can do that is to make sure he's a complete absolute idiot and useless at everything. So it's true, but it's not a Mary Sue. And then it kind of worked. I think it kind of worked. Ask Andy, he knows all about avoid spikes. If you haven't read Avoid Spikes, go to modelmakingguru.com. Click on Avoid Spikes in the top menu. There you go. Right, that's that bit cleaned up. Retract the knife to avoid stabity. We're up to a chat. My kitchen is a mess. Jiff, 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 jiff. And now to get the catcher's mitt. That's different. That's allowed. Paul Di Tommaso. Hey, Paul says, but it is pronounced jiff. You're banned. Happy New Year, Paul. La 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 la. It's not jiff. It's gif. Which part of the word graphical starts with j? No, there you go. Even though the man that created it says it's GIF, he's clearly an idiot. GIF is a brand of peanut butter that is safe for dogs, as it does contain xylitol. The G in GIF stands for graphic, so I pronounce it with a hard G. There you go. Graphical interface for. I don't know what the F stands for. Format. There you go. Right, so the last piece is this bit, which I've now got to figure out where the hell it attaches. No vague instructions, wonderful. Although there is a hand, which gives me a hand, if you pardon the expression, sorry. I know. That goes on there. That's vagueness at set vagueness to maximum for the instructions. Okay. That goes, wow, this is the most tenuous attachment points you'll ever come across. Okay, maybe not that tenuous. Alright, maybe, okay, that's not so bad. This is going to be challenging though, because I've got to attach tiny little wibbly wobbly bits to other tiny little wibbly wobbly bits with no real solid structure to work off. And that was marvellously actually painless. Cool! That actually went together really nicely. I take it back, all is forgiven. Touch of glue in there, lock it in place. Okay, I give G-dubs points for making two impossible to stick together parts really possible. That's a nice looking figure. I think that's all of it. I need to stick it to the base. How low can you go? So we'll move this out of the way. La, 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 la. And then we'll call it a show then. So this needs to go on there. Let's have a look. What's this base doing? He's kind of leaning forward. So what I think I should do is I should have it towards, because he's leaning forward and he's not even on camera, he naturally leans forward. So I don't want to put him in the middle. I think have the base attached at the back, so he's kind of then, his torso is just forward of the middle. That kind of works a little bit. You'll see what I mean when I've done it. I don't like putting figures in the middle of bases because it's boring. So I'm going to use the fat glue because that needs to hold it in place with the viscosity. Getting pushed down. So the fat glue takes a while to set, but it's just a thick viscous liquid, so it will hold him on the base. And then in a second I'll put some extra thin on there. So he is roughly in the centre, but he's set off at the back like that, you see what I mean? So there you go. So that is actually a really nice figure. That is it's going to be an absolute arse to paint. Well, it might not be, because it's mostly bone, and depending on how I choose to paint the armour, I'm not going to necessarily paint him like he is on the box art, where it's all ghostly and black, and I'm going to make my bone dudes look more rotten and rusted. The armour's going to be corroded and rusted. I'm not going to play these guys anyway, and the box art shows them all nice and clean with beautiful sparkly armour. It's like, nah, these are bones. The bones are going to be the bones are going to be rotten and have green on them and brown staining and all kinds of ming, because they've come out of the ground, some of them. And the armour's going to be rusted and rotten, and that's the law. So there you go. So that's done. I will put the lid back on the glue. So we've got the Mortisan Soul Reaper all done. That's a really nice figure. Really nice figure, that. It's going to be fun to paint. It's going to be fiddly but fun. It's going to be a night. What's more worse is putting that in any kind of storage, because it's just going to break at the moment you look at it. And of course we've got a lot of the big shouty collector dog, puppy dog of collection. I think that's all the parts for him done. Big puppy dog of collection, he's done as well. So when next we meet, we shall make either some Necropolis Stalkers, or Immortis Guard, or Metropolis Stalkers as I started to call them, or we'll make some Mortec Guards. Now I think for these guys, because I play Destiny, I think it's going to have to be the Necropolis Stalkers with the 4 arms, because those guys are boring. Those guys have got 4 arms. These look like Lixney, like Fallen. Varix would love these very much. That's not what Varix sounds like, but never mind. So there we go. That is them done. I shall put that there. We're going to call it a show there, because that's, I think, we're done now. I need to go and make some dinner and check on Mama Fox and do the washing up and all the exciting things. Quick look at chat. La 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 la. So how do you pronounce Jeff as a name if GIF is pronounced GIF? It says Mobius PC. Well, the thing is that GIF stands for graphical graphical something format, graphical interchange format. Graphical starts with a hard G, so to then pronounce it GIF, it just, nah. If it was a word that's if it was giraffe if it was like giraffe interchange format, then it would be GIF. But if it's graphical, yeah, the guy that invented it's clearly a spoon. And anyway, I regret whoever mentioned that now, because it just starts that debate and it ends up with everybody fighting. Mobius says, I'm in the GIF camp, but my point is valid. Jeff is a name, and GIF, because Jeff is just the same as giraffe or geography. The word has a soft G by default, whereas graphical doesn't. Because it is an acronym. Don't forget, GIF is an acronym. Dang it, Mobius PC. I'm afraid I have no defences, Candygram. Thanks for the boning, Fox. See you all later. It's funny enough, nobody ever says that to me in real life. Thanks for the boning. Never mind. Yeah, anyway, yeah, that's going to do us. I shall figure out how the hell to store these temporarily. And thank you for watching, though. Until next time, thank you very much for watching today and joining me on New Year's Day of all time. It was amazing that you joined me and Colin last night, but even better that you joined me today. So thank you very much to all of you who have been watching. I will be back, of course, hopefully tomorrow with Warhammer Sunday with me and Colin. I'll be carrying on with these guys, and Colin's probably still working on his Orc Battle Wagon, but maybe something else. So we'll see. But yes, that's going to do it for today. Don't forget, of course, if you'd like to support this channel and keep it alive, do consider becoming a patron or a channel member. You can go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru, or you can just click the join button underneath the video. Either way, you become a channel member, you get loads of free stuff. You become a patron, you get loads of free bits and bobs, but you also get access to the live 24/7 Zoom session that's constantly going 24/7, 365 days a year. Go and join in, hang out with good people, and you also get access to the Facebook Zoom. It's a Zoom, I'll get my words out. It's a Facebook chat for people that are in the Zoom hangout. You get the Facebook version if you don't want to do stuff on camera. But that's going to do me, so thank you very much to all of you for watching. Big thank you to my patrons and members. Big thank you to Goblin Gaming and eModels for supporting the channel. Links to them in the description below. Don't forget, if you want some of these battle sets, what they're called, the seasonal ones, the ones that come out at Christmas, the ones that won't be around in another week or so and that are really hard to find, Goblin Game's got loads of them in, so go and have a look. There's a link below in the description. Go and have a look if you want one of these battle sets. But until then, I shall say I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, all being well. Nothing's ever guaranteed, because I never know whether Mama Fox is going to be up and about or whatever, so there's always a chance a stream might start late or not happen, but I'll do my best. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome, like these bony boys. Take care of yourselves. And until then, I shall say, take care. Adios, amoebas.